Hi everyone! Today we're gonna make 4 of my favorite spicy condiments. We're gonna make piri-piri sauce, some nice Chinese chili oil, a citric hot sauce and some citric kosho. Let's start. For this you will need 4 jars. You can choose the ones of your preference. I would say 2 small and 2 bigger ones, being the bottled form one for the hot sauce, the respective lids, and all the utensils you will have to fill the jars with. I'm giving you all these materials now because it's very important that as you're gonna do a fermented or preserved thing, you have to sterilize all of your jars before. For this, you can do all these 4 jars in a preheated oven for about 15 minutes, 180 degrees minimum, meaning that you can keep them there till you are done with the sauce so that you put it in. And 10 minutes before you finish the respective sauces, you can actually put the lids in boiling water together with all the metallic instruments. The plastic ones, you can just put them in and out for about 30 seconds to prevent them melting. But just important that everything cannot have bacteria before you enter, because it's like that you will prevent future diarrheas, future diseases, and we don't want that. So let's start. We start by the chili oil. For this you will need a nice half a liter of frying oil, like preferably neutral, 2 shallots already cut in half and peeled, the same with 4 cloves of garlic, 1 cinnamon stick, 3 tablespoons of Szechuan pepper, 85 grams of chili flakes, 2 leaves of bay leaf, and 5 stars of anise. So the only thing you will keep for later will be the chili flakes. Set them aside. In the oil you will throw your spices. And you will heat up the oil minimum 810 degrees. I would play safe and do 110, but you can do it till 120. As we also put some shallots and garlics in, I would stay by the 110 and actually avoid that they brown too fast. For that you have to be always controlling the temperature, and as soon as you see little bubbles coming on the surface, you just wait 30 minutes and watch during these minutes if the garlic or the onions will get too brown. If they get too brown, you will just take them off. So after half an hour, as you can see, nothing is really brown still, as the temperature was constant in 110. You can then place your chili flakes on a bowl. And with the help of a sieve, you will place your infusion and cook the flakes just with the oil, leaving the spices on the sieve. And you leave it cool so that then you can actually put it inside your sterilized jar. After cooling down, we can put the oil through a jar with all sterilized materials. Should be bright red like that and not burned. and done. So we'll do now our piri-piri sauce. This is a spicy sauce from Portugal, of course taken from Africa, and it's usually used to accompany meat or fish, but also to be incorporated in any other marinades that you like. And for this you will need half a cup of whiskey, the zest of 1 lemon, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, around 12 bird eye red chilies, or if you don't have them by hand like me, you can use Thai ones, a tablespoon of Jerez vinegar or balsamic, 200 ml of olive oil, and 1 peeled garlic clove. I'm gonna, in the meantime, put some water boiling so that we take all the impurities from the chilies. You can put them all in a bowl. And in the meantime, you can use other bowl to zest the lemon, like this, with a microplane or a zester. Set aside. So now that the water finally reached the boiling temperature, you can just quickly put it over the chilies to blanch them, but take them immediately off. We just want to get rid of most of the bacteria. And we are ready to cut them. For this step, as for any spicy sauce you do, you should put gloves on, because even when you wash the hands with soap, you really take a long time to get rid of the chili from your hands, and you're not gonna like to touch your eyes or any other body parts and feel the burn. So put your gloves on and start chopping it. We start by getting rid of the stem. We want a spicy sauce, so we're going to preserve the chili, the seeds from the chili. And start chopping them fine. So you can put all these precious chilies with the lemon. And gather all the ingredients in the bowl. You can grab one of the spoons that you already sterilized and mix it. This is how I like it, kind of runny, but you can always put more chili or less oil if you want it to be a paste. There are several ways of doing piri-piri. This is just my recipe, but actually, even in my country, you can do it in many different ways. And you have it ready to put in your sterilized jar. The sterilized spoon, you can start filling the jar. And turn it upside down so that the heat will kill the non-sterilized part from the bottom, and you're done. We pass now to our citric hot sauce. As you can see, the colors are between orange, red, anything that you can find nice from the season of the citrus now in winter. And of course some habanero chilies. I chose the yellow ones because they are in between ripe, which will give a nice taste to the sauce. And for this you're gonna need half cup of rice vinegar, around 100 to 150 gram of kumquat, 2 blood oranges, a pinch of salt, a bit of olive oil, around 15 habanero chilies, preferably orange and yellow, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 carrots, and a tablespoon of sugar. You're gonna put some gloves on, you properly wash them, and you start by taking the stems off from all the chilies you have. You start cutting them in smaller pieces so that they will fit in the saucepan. You can then prepare your garlic, just slice it very thinly. Pass to the kumquat. You will cut them in half, like that. And as you can see, there is the juice and the seeds inside that actually you don't want. And you will then squeeze them out like this and get just the peel, which is actually the edible part of the kumquat because it has a nice citric and sweet taste and not super acid. So in opposite of the other fruits from this kind, actually what you eat is the peel and not the inside. So like that, and save the peels to put in the sauce. Discard the insides. You can do now the blood orange. We're going to take the peel off, starting by cutting it from the extremities, like this. And you will go with the knife around so that you take the white part, like that. Like that. And you can cut it also in smaller pieces. You can now start by throwing the oil in the pot and heat up on low heat and throw your habanero inside. And sweat them for 8 minutes with the lid on. In the meantime, you can prepare the carrots. You will have to peel them. Before grating them. So you can grate them. After the 8 minutes, we can finally start gathering the other ingredients inside. Take the lid off, but be careful not to breathe the steam that comes from the chili because you will cough a lot. I will advise you maybe to open the doors or windows from your house, so don't breathe it directly. And you can now put the garlic inside, mix it a little bit. And sweat it for around 2 minutes. You can now throw the rest of the ingredients inside. Increase a bit the heat, give it a mix, and cook for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes we check how the contents of the pot are doing. Seems pretty blendable to me, so we can stop it and let it cool for 15 minutes. We'll now whisk our mixture. It's nice if the sauce has a bit of texture, but you can whisk it till liquid if you want, or pass it through a sieve. And you can put it in the bottle. And once again the same. So we'll do now our citrus kosho. Kosho is a spicy Japanese condiment that usually uses yuzu together with salt and chili peppers. but as it's not the season, I took the liberty to choose some nice other citrus. So in number for our kosho we'll need 10, and you can mix whichever citrus you like. In my case I took some mandarin, some bergamot, lemon, tangelo and blood orange. 40 grams salt and around 100 grams of green or yellow chilies. I'll take these green Taiwans, and we can start by zesting our citrus. Can set aside. Then put your gloves on and start doing the chili. Start by taking the stem off, all of them. Get rid of the stems. And you start slicing them in half. Like this. And now you take the seeds from the inside. We don't want it to get too spicy. With green chili you don't joke. We will now cut the chili in smaller pieces that we're gonna put inside a mortar together with the zest that we've done and the salt. So all goes in the mortar. Together with the zests. And the salt. And you can start turning it into a paste. And with a sterilized spoon in your sterilized jar and lid, you can finally put your mixture. So here we have our condiments. You can save them all in the fridge for 6 months, except the kosho that you can save for 1 year. Enjoy your spicy food, and if you didn't subscribe yet to my channel, you know you can here below. And see you next week for another recipe. Ciao!